has been a little bit crazy. The COVID situation. Now week 12 is getting to be a little bit crazy with the Baltimore Ravens. I think they've got like 23 players on the COVID list or something like that. The Denver Broncos, quarterback room. They didn't have any quarterbacks to play with on Sunday. Yeah, week 12's just been crazy. It's just been a little bit crazy, and a couple surprises. The Raiders and the Falcons. That game, I didn't see that coming. The Patriots and the Cardinals, I did not see coming. And I was a little bit surprised by the Niners and the Rams. San Francisco always plays the Rams tough, but I thought with them having so many injuries, Richard Sherman did come back, so that did impact. Actually, you know what? I'll go over the game. I'll start going over all the games here in a second. So, starting off with the Thanksgiving Thursday games. By the way, I hope that you all had a safe and healthy Thanksgiving. It was a little bit strange this year, wasn't it? Alright, let me just say before I get started, I'll get into the holiday spirit and say that I am extremely grateful that I'm able to make these videos for you all. I love doing it, and I know that some people it helps your day. I'm just thankful to be able to do this, help you guys relax or whatever, catch up on sports. Whatever it is, the reason that you come here for my channel. I'm thankful to be able to provide this for you all, and I hope that, I have a positive impact on your lives watching my channel and growing with me. And I definitely, my homies that are always like in the comment section watching my videos and posting comments and stuff, I definitely see you. So thank you. I'm thankful for that. I appreciate you. And we're coming up on 10K here, so that's a nice milestone, and we're just getting started. So I'm thankful and appreciative, and I hope that I make everybody's day just a little bit better, one video at a time. So I just wanted to say that I'm thankful for you, and I appreciate you. Alright, starting off on Thursday, the Houston Texans defeated the Detroit Lions 41-25. For the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson was 17 of 25 for 318 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, a QBR of 89.9 and a rating of 150.4. Johnson carried the rock 9 times for 37 yards. Will Fuller had a good game, 6 receptions for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Detroit Lions, Matt Stafford was 28 of 42 for 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, for a QBR 44.8 and a rating of 84.9. Adrian Peterson carried the rock 15 times for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson had 5 receptions for 89 yards. Houston improves to 4-7. Detroit falls to 4-7. Detroit then fired head coach and GM. Head coach Matt Patricia, which I've been thinking that he needs to go for a while now, and GM, his name is like escaping me right now, but they fired the coach and the GM, so yeah, a little bit overdue actually, I think, but Houston taking care of business there on Thanksgiving in the first game. And in the second game, the Washington football team just absolutely destroyed the Dallas Cowboys 41-16. For Washington, Alex Smith was 19 of 26 for 149 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 21.3 and a rating of 83.7. Gibson carried the rock 20 times for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gibson low-key a beast. I know that if you got him on your fantasy team, that you're loving it. For sure. He always seems to find the end zone. Receiving Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry McLaurin. 7 receptions for 92 yards for the Dallas Cowboys now. For the Cowboys, Andy Dalton was 25 of 35 for 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 73.9 and a rating of 84.8. Ezekiel Elliott carried the rock 10 times for 32 yards. And Amari Cooper had 6 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Washington improves to 4-7. Dallas falls to 3-8. Now, Washington, I think, in the driver's seat there for that division. Somebody different every week, right? But the Giants, Daniel Jones, I would say the Giants would be in the driver's seat, but Daniel Jones went down with a hamstring injury on Sunday, so we'll see if he's gonna have to miss some games. Then I like Washington at the moment, subject to change, of course, at any time. But yeah, those were the Thursday games. Pittsburgh and Baltimore was supposed to be the primetime game on Thanksgiving Thursday. COVID ruined that, so that's scheduled to be played on Tuesday, actually, which is tomorrow as I'm recording this right now. Alright, the Sunday games. The Minnesota Vikings defeated the Carolina Panthers 28-27, survived. Kirk Cousins led a game-winning drive down there at the end, and the Minnesota defense almost gave it away at the end, but I think it was like a 54-yard field goal that Carolina had for a chance to win it, and he hooked it. The kicker for the Panthers hooked it to the left and missed it. But for Carolina, Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy two gloves, Teddy two gloves, Teddy two gloves is back. Teddy Bridgewater, first game back from injury. He was 19 of 36 for 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 53.2 and a rating of 74.7. Mike Davis carried the rock 15 times for 55 yards. Robbie Anderson had 4 receptions for 94 yards and a touchdown. For the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins was 34 of 45 for 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 78.2 and a rating of 115.7. Dalvin Cook carried the rock 18 times for 61 yards. Johnson had 7 receptions for 74 yards. Jefferson had 7 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chad Beebe had 7 receptions for 63 yards in the game-winning touchdown with, I think it was around 45 seconds left. Which, incidentally, he muffed a punt. He muffed a punt down on his own 10-yard line, gave the Panthers the ball down there to score and take the lead, but then he did get redemption on that final drive. He got that touchdown on the final drive, so this was a good game. 4-6, Carolina 4-8. Alright, the Miami Dolphins defeated the New York Jets 20-3. For Miami, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic getting the start because Tua Tagovailoa jammed his throwing thumb at practice. So Ryan Fitzpatrick with the start. He was 24 of 39 for 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 56.9 and a rating of 97.9. DeAndre Washington carried the rock 13 times for 49 yards. Devontae Parker had 8 receptions for 119 yards. Gesicki had 2 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown. For the New York Jets, Sam Darnold was 16 of 27 for 197 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a QBR of 18.2 and a rating of 51. Frank Gore carried the rock 18 times for 74 yards. Brashad Perryman had 4 receptions for 79 yards. The Jets fall to 0-11, and Miami in the playoff hunt at 7-4. If the season ended today, Miami would make the playoffs. They did not look great but it was against the Jets, so that's pretty much guaranteed. Chalk up a dub if you're going up against the Jets right now because they are some hot garbage. I expect Adam Gase to gotta be fired. He's got to be fired. Sometime coming up here very soon, I feel like. But moving on here. The Cleveland Browns defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-25. Close game. The Jaguars had a chance to tie the game with a 2-point conversion, and the Browns were able to stop the 2-point conversion. This was with around 2 minutes left in the game. So yeah, I wasn't expecting the game to be that close, but I do think that Cleveland their record is now 8-3. I don't think that is an accurate reflection of how good the team is. You hear somebody's record is 8-3, and you're thinking they're pretty good. They beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. I'll put it that way. But I don't think that they're a terrific 8-3 team. They're in a good spot to make the playoffs right now. I don't think they're gonna make any noise in the playoffs. If they do, actually make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Baker Mayfield was 19 of 29 for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a QBR of 88.7 and a rating of 116.7. Nick Chubb is a beast. 19 carried the rock 19 times for 144 yards and a touchdown. Jarvis Landry finally had a breakout game, 8 receptions for 143 yards and a touchdown. Easily his best game of the year. Yeah, I just don't love Cleveland. I don't think that Baker Mayfield is the guy. I don't think he's the guy. So, I think that, I don't think that he can take them to the next level, basically. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, Glennon was 20 of 35 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 48 and a rating of 96.7. Robinson carried the rock 22 times for 128 yards and a touchdown. Johnson had 4 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. The Jaguars fall to 1-10, and as I said, Cleveland improves to 8-3. Okay, shock of the week. Shock of the week. The Atlanta Falcons killed the Las Vegas Raiders, blew out the Las Vegas Raiders 43-6. And, Vegas just could not hold on to the ball. Derek Carr could not hold on to the ball. For the Raiders, Derek Carr was 22 of 34 for Rock 7 times for 27 yards. Hunter Renfrow had 7 receptions for 73 yards. Derek Carr had an interception and 3 lost fumbles. You're not going to win too many games turning the ball over that many times. But yeah, I mean, the Falcons just absolutely just demolished them. It was crazy. Matt Ryan was 22 of 39 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for a QBR of 32.3 and a rating of 75.3. Not very good numbers for Matt Ryan either, but when you got 4 turnovers from one player on the other team, you're going to be in a good position to win. Smith carried the rock 12 times for 65 yards and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley had 6 receptions for 50 yards and a touchdown. The Atlanta Falcons fall to 4-7. The Atlanta Falcons improved to 4-7, and the Las Vegas Raiders fall to 6-5. The Buffalo Bills defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 27-17. The Chargers had a chance to score late to make it a little bit closer. I don't think that they ever really had a shot at winning this game, but they should have had another touchdown. It should only been like a 3-point win for the Bills, but regardless, for the Chargers, Justin Herbert was 31 of 52 for 316 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 46.5 and a rating of 75.5. Austin Eckler back from injury this week, 14 carries for 44 yards. He also had 11 receptions for 85 yards. Team's leading receiver on Sunday. For the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen was 18 of 24 for 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 33 and a rating of 88.4. Devin Singletary carried the rock 11 times for 82 yards. Davis had 3 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Buffalo improves to 8-3. The Chargers fall to 3-8. Buffalo in first place in the AFC East, and Miami is a game back. So yeah, Buffalo's still in the driver's seat there in the AFC East, and the Chargers pretty much all but out of the playoff picture at this point. The New York Giants defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 19-17. No Joe Burrow for the Bengals, of course. And now Daniel Jones, injured, out with a hamstring injury for, we don't know how long yet. We don't know how long just yet. I think he's going to have an MRI today, and then we'll find out more. But he was 16 of 27 for 213 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 84.7 and a rating of 84.3. Colt McCoy is the backup there for the Giants, and I don't think that they're going to be able to do too much with him at the helm. Wayne Gallman carried the rock 24 times for 94 yards and a touchdown. Evan Ingram had 6 receptions for 129 yards. For the Cincinnati Bengals, Allen got the start, 17 of 29 for 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 10.9 and a rating of 67.6. Giovanni Bernard carried the rock 8 times for 32 yards. T. Higgins had 5 receptions for 44 yards and a touchdown. Cincinnati falls to 2-8-1. The New York Giants improved to 4-7. The Tennessee Titans defeated the Indianapolis Colts 45-26. Derrick Henry just went wild on this game, which I didn't really expect. I know that Indianapolis has a couple injuries on defense, but that's still the best rush defense in the league. So I was a little bit surprised that Derrick Henry went so wild on him, but let me tell you the numbers here. Ryan Tannehill was 13 of 22 for 221 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for a QBR of 87.7 and a rating of 108.3. Derrick King Henry carried the rock 27 times for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns. A.J. Brown had 4 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. Speaking of fantasy players, fantasy team owners are loving A.J. Brown. just having a beast of a season, always seems to find the end zone. A great wide receiver in this game. Phillip Rivers for the Colts was 24 of 42 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for a QBR of 51.1 and a rating of 84.9. Nyheim Hines carried the rock 10 times for 29 yards. T.Y. Hilton had 4 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown, and I think that's his first touchdown of the year, is that right? But, yeah, regardless, Indianapolis just got kind of smacked around there, didn't they? That's making Tennessee look pretty good. Tennessee improves to 8-3, and Indianapolis falls to 7-4. Tennessee now in the driver's seat in that division. So, I'm not shocked that the Titans won, but I'm shocked that they won so easily. I thought it would be closer. The New England Patriots defeated the Arizona Cardinals 20-17. Now this one I was shocked on. For the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray was 23 of 34 for 170 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception for a QBR of 54.7 and a rating of 67. Kenyon Drake carried the rock 22 times for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins had 5 receptions for 55 yards. For the Patriots, Cam Newton was 9 of 18 for 84 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a QBR of 6.6 and a rating of 23.6. Damian Harris carried the rock 14 times for 47 yards. Jacoby Myers had 5 receptions for 52 yards. Yeah, I mean, you listen to these numbers and you're surprised that the Patriots won the game, right? 84 yards passing from Cam Newton and 2 interceptions. A terrible QBR, 6.6. A terrible rating, 23.6. They only rushed the ball for 110 yards as a team. So, you know, when you hear those numbers, you don't think there's any way they can win that game, but the Cardinals did have better numbers, but not by much. You know, 170 yards passing for Kyler Murray, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and 138 yards rushing as a team. So they really kind of got put in check a little bit by New England, which to me was surprising. So Arizona falls to 6-5, and New England improves to 5-6. New England still hanging in there. Kind of a long shot, though, I think, for them to make the playoffs at this point. Arizona's still in the thick of it, though. The NFC West is about to get crazy. Right, because the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Los Angeles Rams 23-20 on Sunday. So that just kind of muddles everything up even a little bit more. For San Francisco, Nick Mullins with the start, 24 of 35 for 252 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception for a QBR of 45.8 and a rating of 77.3. Raheem Mostert back this week, or was he back last week? Raheem Mostert carried the rock 16 times for 43 yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel back this week. Big game. Big game from Deebo. He had 11 receptions for 133 yards. He's a beast anyways. But for the Los Angeles Rams, Jared Goff was 19 of 31 for 198 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a QBR of 10.1 and a rating of 52.9. Cam Akers carried the rock 9 times for 84 yards and a touchdown. Robert Woods had 7 receptions for 80 yards. So San Francisco improves to 5-6, and the Los Angeles Rams fall to 7-4. I was so high on the Rams last week after they beat Tampa Bay, and the reasons why I'm high on the Rams haven't changed. Their defense is solid. I love their defense, and Aaron Donald should be. Aaron Donald is a monster, but I do not love Jared Goff. I do not love Jared Goff at all. It makes me wonder if they're built well enough for a defense. I do think San Francisco kind of has their number a little bit. Kyle Shanahan knows how to, it's a divisional opponent. So when you play those guys all the time, you know how they play and you know their tendencies and everything really well. And yeah, I tell you guys like every week that Shanahan's a great coach. So, yeah, the NFC West getting a little bit interesting with Arizona losing and the Rams losing and the Niners winning, and we got Seattle playing tonight, which they should win that game. Seattle should win the game tonight pretty easily, but we'll see what happens. Okay, the New Orleans Saints defeated the Denver Broncos, the quarterbackless Denver Broncos, 31-3. What a game this was for the Saints. Taysom Hill was 9 of 16 for 78 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception for a QBR of 33.8 and a rating of 43.2. Latavius Murray carried the rock 19 times for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Thomas had 4 receptions for 50 yards. For the Denver Broncos, Kendall Hinton was 1 of 9 for 13 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a QBR of 0.1 and a rating of 0.0. Royce Freeman carried the rock 8 times for 50 yards. Noah Fant had 1 reception for 13 yards. You guys all know the story by now. Denver had no quarterbacks for the game. Their entire quarterback room got put on a COVID list, and they had to bring this dude off the practice squad. He was a wide receiver on the practice squad and played quarterback in college for, I think it was Wake Forest, maybe. I'm not entirely sure on that, but regardless, they didn't have anybody throw back there, so it was just like we would expect it to be. A blowout for the Saints, 31-3. New Orleans improves to 9-2. Denver falls to 4-7. They didn't have a chance. I do think the Saints right now, I think they're the class of the NFC right now. So, I think them and the Packers, the Saints, the Packers, and the Rams, to me in the NFC are the cream of the crop, and obviously particularly the Saints and the Packers this week with their wins. And then in the AFC, I think it's really down to I think the Chiefs and the Steelers are like head and shoulders above everyone else. I think there's a clear separation between the Chiefs and the Steelers, and then everyone else in the AFC. In the NFC, it's not as clear of a separation, I don't think. You got like I said, the Saints, the Packers, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Bucks, the Cardinals. It's there's no clear separation. There's a little bit of separation at the top, but to me, the NFC is a little bit more up for grabs than the AFC. So I think there are more teams that can win the NFC than can win the AFC. Basically, the AFC I think is down between the Chiefs and the Steelers. The Titans looked great this weekend. So I don't want to sleep on Tennessee either, but I feel like if they're facing Kansas City or Pittsburgh, I'm taking Kansas City or Pittsburgh. So, all right, moving on here. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24. This was a great game. Kansas City came out in the first quarter and punched them in the mouth, like knocked them down, punched them in the mouth like Nate Robinson. Did you guys see the Nate Robinson Kansas City came out, threw a haymaker like that, and Tampa Bay hung in there, though. Tampa Bay did hang in there, made it a game. In the fourth quarter, they did. They were able to make it a game. Kansas City won the game 27-24. For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was 37 of 49 for 462 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 91.1 and a rating of 124.7. This dude is just on another level. I mean, sensational to watch, and it helps when you got all these weapons to throw to, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire carried the rock 11 times for 37 yards. Tyree Kill had 13 receptions for 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. A hell of a game from Tyree Kill. He had 200 yards receiving in the first quarter. So finished the game 13 grabs for 269 and 3 touchdowns. That's a career day for Tyree Kill. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady was 27 of 41 for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a QBR of 60.3 and a rating of 96.1. Ronald Jones carried the rock 9 times for 66 yards. Rob Gronkowski had 6 receptions for 106 yards. Mike Evans had 2 touchdowns in the game, 3 receptions for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, Tampa Bay falls to 7-5. Kansas City improves to 10-1. I think that, I don't know that this is going to be the year for Tampa Bay. I could see them coming back next season a little bit stronger. I think that they just need a little bit of time to gel. They've shown flashes. Of great play and championship level play, to be honest. But not on a consistent basis. So they need to put it together a little more consistently. They need to help Tom Brady out a little bit. I know that he was brought there to help them out, but the Bruce Arians, Tom Brady marriage, to me there needs to be a little more give on the Bruce Arians side of things. I mean, you watch them play and he's chucking the ball downfield 10, 12 times a game, throwing a couple picks. That's not Tom Brady. That's not really Tom Brady. I mean, I understand that you got those weapons. You got Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronk. You want to let those guys run. So I get that, but I think you got to run the ball a little bit more first. Establish the run, then do a little bit of play action. How about your QB a little bit? That's just me. I know that's a few other people as well, but I think that they could benefit from an off season. I think Tampa Bay could really benefit from an off season together, and they need to figure something out for Tom Brady against the blitz. You put pressure on Tom Brady, you knock him down, collapse the pocket, and he's pedestrian at best. He's not been good under pressure this season. So I think that figure something out. If you're Tampa Bay, you got to figure something out for Tom Brady against the blitz, and I think you got to run the ball a little bit more. All right, the Green Bay Packers defeated the Chicago Bears on Sunday night, 41-25. No surprise here. The Green Bay Packers look great. Aaron Rodgers looks great. Aaron Rodgers was 21 of 29 for 211 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, a QBR of 96.8 and a rating of 132.3. Fantastic game from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones carried the rock 17 times for 90 yards. Tanyan had 5 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams had 6 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown. For the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky. Getting the start for the Chicago Bears. He was 26 of 46 for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a QBR of 50.2 and a rating of 74.7. some changes got to be made there in Chicago for them to be able to compete. this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.